this meeting to order.
Yep.
Be awake.
Yeah, I'm ready for the meeting.
Yes.
7 o'clock. 2 years ago. That's the way I did it. The split units.
For the previous minutes.
Yeah, I make a motion to accept minutes as written.
I'll second it.
Bill was going around. And got some guests. So, planning commission. You guys are up.
It's your turn to speak.
Should we come to the table or?
Yeah,
Sure.
Sure.
Do you have a quorum tonight?
Yeah, we got three.
you got three.
Oh, I wasn't sure how many.
Yeah, we have to 3 out of 5.
Okay, oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are 7 out of 9, I guess. We're looking forward to meeting the new members.
Yeah.
And who's this gentleman?
Yes.
Jason.
Oh, you're Jason, hi.
I'm Jason.
I guess I'm Margot, sure, haven't seen you since you were. That's okay.
Been a day or two.
Yeah, a day or two. Yeah, welcome.
I'm Walter Elander.
Nice to meet you.
You live right here?
Yes, you live right across the road,
I
right?
do, yeah, I know. I see you now and then, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I
nice
see
to
you on
meet
your
you.
motorcycle.
Thank you, yes.
This is Russell.
Russ Ford, Lost Nation Road.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Lori, for those of you that don't know.
Filling in for Emily tonight.
Yes,
Talking, you know.
yep, hi Todd. Nice to see you.
And
Andy Smith, yeah.
Yes, hi, yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, we got Mr. Larry here. He's coming in here. He's our newest member.
Just on my way out, I'm on call this weekend from Island, so forgive me for being a little bit late.
we just wanted to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
We have seen each other through the years.
Yeah.
This is
Hello,
Walter.
Hi, Walter.
How are you?
Hi,
And Russell.
I'm fine, thank you. Hi, Russell. Hi. Hi. Howdy, everyone.
Yeah, howdy.
We wanted to just have a brief conversation about the Northwestern Regional, how our relationship is working and
The planning commission.
the planning commission, yeah, because we seem to not be communicating as much, and I'm wondering, are we still continuing to pay them to help us? Does anybody know?
For who?
The Northwestern Regional,
Usually if they need something, Emily gets hold of them.
yeah.
Northwest Regional Planning Commission.
Yeah, Emily would know for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I interface with
Yeah.
Emily all the time, and,
Yeah.
our communications between, there's 2 Emilys, our Emily and their
Oh,
Emily
yeah.
who actually looks after us. And we have been hoping that we could get quicker responses, like we worked very hard on, revising the new bylaws.
Yeah.
And we haven't got the corrections in to even have a vote on them. It was March, I think, that we had a public meeting.
Oh.
And I call her all the time, and her voicemail's full, and then I email her, and Walter's doing the same, and Emily, so we still haven't got the final bylaws that we...
That Emily's name is Emily Cloft. She's our contact person at the Northwest Regional Planning Commission. And yeah, she's been difficult to communicate with for the last 6+ months. Now, we haven't met as a planning commission for a number of months because Margot was away, winter was busy for Russ and I. But there are things that the Northwest Regional Planning Commission owes us in terms of the process and the program we work on with them, but they haven't delivered. And we just wondered, we assumed, and I don't know exactly what we paid into the Northwest Regional Planning Commission, but we assumed we'd been paying them.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up for them. Yeah, yeah,
I would assume that they would tell us if we weren't.
yeah, that's not a problem.
But we're
I
just
can see that.
wondering why they haven't been responding to our
See if we can
questions.
Let's see if we can find out.
And we don't have an answer right now tonight,
Yeah,
but we can
they're,
definitely look into it to see if they've been compensated
yeah, but
to
they're,
begin with, and
Yeah.
but they're a very important resource, particularly to our planning commission, the Berkshire Planning Commission, because they provide planning services and grant writing services to all of the regional towns, and we use them for that. And they help us a lot in terms of writing amendments to the zoning ordinance, updating the town master plan, all of that kind of stuff that we do in the planning commission. They help us a lot. So
But
for
they
them
have
to,
the information from the
Oh.
state of the changes, you know, the bylaw,
exactly,
you know, that are statewide.
exactly.
Yeah.
They have
They-
to work on it.
They know the laws, they know the laws that are changing. They help us a lot to do what we do in the planning commission. But they've been out
Understand
of touch.
what our range of options
Right.
is within the,
Yeah,
within
yeah,
what's required
yeah.
by the law.
yeah. Now, do you communicate directly with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly, but they haven't been answering our phone calls.
Yeah, but even
Oh.
our Emily has said that, you know, she
Yeah,
doesn't get
yeah.
a response, and, you know, they all, well, Emily, and her boss, I think, is Greta? Is it Greta?
I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Greta is her
Yeah.
boss, but I think Greta's more senior.
You're
Yeah.
reaching out to them.
Yeah,
They are not getting, in return, they're not getting back to you.
yes. And I think we're one of the few towns that we don't have, our revised bylaws voted by the select board to be accepted.
Well, and
So is this a two-part question? Just for clarity?
Well, we just are anxious to improve, yeah, the number
Okay.
one question, are we paying them?
We're paying them because you're communicating with them. They're not getting back to
Yeah.
you.
and we're wondering why.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
And could that be, the other question is, are the bylaws approved that were provided to us to review and approve?
Well, I don't believe they have been provided.
Well,
Oh,
no,
okay.
the bylaws we're talking about that need a final approval have been approved by the Berkshire Planning Commission.
Okay,
There's 3 different bylaws, and they
Okay.
all have to do with at-home businesses, use of architecturally historical businesses or structures, that kind of stuff that we want to put into the current town zoning bylaws. So the Planning Commission over the past year plus has approved those drafts.
okay, okay.
The next step for final approval is they need to go to the select board and there needs to be a public hearing. So what we're waiting for in the planning commission is to get the final draft copies of those bylaw amendments from the Northwest Regional Planning
Okay.
Commission, so that we can
Okay.
put them in front of you folks and then have a public hearing and
Okay.
go from there.
Yeah, we did have a public hearing in March to see, how, you know, how the town felt about the changes we were making before, and we were supposed to revise
Okay.
3 items on it, and that's a holdup, really, for 3 months. We haven't got the changes, like Carl Rupert came in. I think he was the only one from the public that actually came
He was,
to our meeting.
that's
And,
correct.
you know, there was 3
Yeah.
things that concerned him, and
Yeah.
Emily was going to make the changes
Yeah,
before the
yeah.
Emily
final
Cloft.
call.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just for clarity,
Yeah.
I'd heard earlier that people were away during the winter.
Mhm.
And you didn't meet, but you did meet in March?
Oh, yes, we did, and we had
Okay,
a public
okay.
meeting,
We
and it was
did.
warned
We
Okay.
by
were,
our Emily.
some of us were away in the winter, but we weren't out of touch. I
Right.
know that Margot was reaching out to Northwest Regional Planning Commission, to Emily Clough. I did several times in January. We never heard back throughout the winter.
Now, do you know, did you mention it to our Emily, and did she
Yes.
call?
Oh, yeah,
And she didn't get nothing either?
yeah.
Okay.
She was kind of,
Yeah,
couldn't understand what the problem is.
Okay.
so we get along with the Northwest Regional
Yeah.
Planning Commission very well, and we work very well together. but without their help, we're a little bit hamstrung in terms of what
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
get done, because
yeah.
we need their advice, we need their guidance to help us.
Yeah.
So I think really the
Yeah.
question is if you folks have any insight or can help us find out why they're not communicating and what's going on there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. We have that now as an action item
Call.
in our minutes. There we go.
Okay, good.
Good.
And the other thing I wanted to mention also is my daughter has joined the planning commission. Unfortunately, she can't come tonight or next month because she's doing the Opera House Annie, but she's going to be very instrumental, I think, in helping too. She's very computer tech knowledgeable.
Good.
And she actually would like to work with our Emily to see if we could do a website for Berkshire. 'Cause we,
Town website?
yeah, a town website, because we really have, compared to most of the towns, we don't really have much.
Do we have one at
We
all?
have
We-
one.
It's
Oh.
a very,
Very,
Yeah.
very basic.
very
Okay.
Very
minimal.
basic,
Okay.
yeah.
Sharon Fagard set that up for the town during the very beginning of COVID lockdown,
Oh, okay.
so that there would be some way to
Yeah.
communicate.
Yeah.
So there is a town website now, but it, like you say, it's very basic. I think what we're thinking is it would be nice to get it more active, proactive, in terms of what happens at all the town meetings, at all the boards. And if somebody from the outside, from another state or whatever, wants to find out, how does the town of Berkshire work from a governmental point of view? They could get those answers from that from that
Yeah.
website. Right now, I don't think they would get enough answers to.
I think I don't know how it's promoted through who we have here in the evenings here, but they're pretty instrumental of posting these on a regular basis. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, we usually post within the week
Yeah.
for these videos.
Yep. So we have a beginning anyways, or per se, but we'd like to see that improve. There we
I believe
go.
the minutes are
Correct.
posted on
That's
there
right, yeah.
every week.
Okay,
I believe that there's a meeting as well.
okay.
Okay. I was told at the DRB meeting that everything's going to be taped now, so the planning commission meeting will be taped too.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
but
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay.
I believe it has
Great.
to start beginning of July.
Just
Okay.
recorded though, right?
Yeah, and I already made up a little paper of how to do it.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, good.
So we are underway.
Okay, good. And I don't know, Russ, do we want to mention the forest, the town forest? Whether we can get some grant money and
Yes.
what we can
As you know, our town forest is a lovely sort of potential asset for the town. We've had series of meetings over the last 3 or 4 years, originally with Nancy Patch, who at the time was still the county forester. Nancy did a beginning of the forest inventory there, and we've started roughing out ideas for ways to make citizen access, reasonable to the town forest, which will require a little bit of gravel access, a little bit of a parking area, at some point a sign, and the bigger part of the project will be some sort of a series of little walking loops in there, so that people can get out there, in grouse season for grouse and snowshoe season for snowshoeing, and kids from nature class to get out and use it as a natural, all these sorts of things. Town forests in other towns around here, Enosburg, for example, none of them are overrun by visitors, but all of them are appreciated.
Yeah.
And so we've been trying to work on that vision and process. It's included a year or 2 years ago applying for a grant through
It was
a
not-
state grant was that through Vorak? It was one of the outdoor.
Yes. It was, I think, last fall that we, as in the town of Berkshire, applied for a municipal planning grant, which is intend
For the forest, right?
to make a master plan for the forest.
Yeah,
Correct.
because I
It's-
remember that lady came up here. And,
Yeah, that was
Well-
Nancy Patch.
no, it wasn't her. It
Oh, all
was
right.
someone else. She said she would have an office here,
Oh,
but she says, you know, we had to apply for something. I can't remember what it was. And it's like, if we don't apply for that, we're not gonna get no permit. So it's like the first step in getting our foot in the door.
right, right.
I haven't really heard nothing
Yeah.
since then.
Well, we did apply for the municipal planning grant, and it was a grant for about a total of $25,000, of which I believe the town would be responsible for 20% of that. And the select board did approve
Yeah,
that we, the town, would pay that 20%. But as it turned out, the state didn't approve our application for the municipal planning grant. So it just never happened. Now, the planning grant, all municipal planning grants are meant for planning, not for construction,
yeah,
just for planning.
yeah.
So if we got that grant of plus or minus $25,000, it would go to a company, and there's companies out there, Vermont companies, even regionally.
Excuse me just for a minute. I'm gonna take this call for the plant.
Do you want me to wait?
No, go ahead, please.
Sorry. There are companies, planning companies and engineering companies like that, that do that kind of work. They create master plans for parcels of land and show what you would do to enhance them for public use and what the cost would be to make them better for public use, that sort of stuff. But again, that application for municipal planning grant wasn't approved at the state level.
Did they say why, or just did they?
Well, you know, it's interesting. The grant application was submitted through the Northwest Regional Planning Commission and Emily Cloft. We haven't had a chance to meet with her to say why.
Well, she's got a grudge
why
against
do we-
it. She's
why
got a grudge
we-
against you guys.
I know that not everybody gets them.
No.
You know, we apply 5 times and you finally get it.
Right.
But- so we haven't had a chance, I don't think, to talk to Emily Cloft and find out why that application we submitted wasn't approved. But we want to do it again. We want to submit another application. As Ross said, we think that that 100 acres or so of land is a great resource. There's a lot of natural things going on in that parcel. And it would be nice to have it accessible and usable. But in order to get more grants to do construction, we have to have a master plan to show what we want to do there. And that's what the municipal planning grant would fund, is the master plan. And that master plan would cost about 25 grand, of which the town pays 20%. I think it was 20%. Yes, it was 20%,
Yeah,
because
it's
5 grand.
5,000.
Yep,
yeah,
that's
it's
right. And a
$5,000.
former select board a year or 2 ago approved that. But again, we didn't get the grant, and we don't know exactly why. But we want to apply again, and I believe the applications need to go in the fall. I think it's either September or October. So we're ahead of the game right now, but I think what we were thinking in terms of talking to you about this tonight is, if we do want to apply again for a municipal planning grant, it wouldn't make sense to apply for that grant unless the town said, yes, we will fund the 20% requirement from the town. I think we're asking for an answer on that tonight. But
Right.
just for information purposes, that would be a requirement that the town says, yes, we would support the application and put up the 20% portion of the funding.
I only remember a little, it was before my time on the board.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Anthony was a part of the board, and I think
Was.
this question came up at one time too. And I think that question also that evolved from that was who was gonna maintain it after.
That was definitely a question. I remember that was a discussion point. What would the costs of maintenance be? Who would do it?
Yeah,
And obviously it would be our responsibility. Yeah.
and,
At the time, it was like the ARPA funds, you know, we could use the ARPA funds to get this started, but then after the ARPA funds were gone, where was this money gonna come from down the road when everything else had to be done?
Yeah.
Cause that wasn't a permanent thing.
Right.
Of course, now the
What
aquifer's
you're
all
talking
gone,
about,
the
like,
blacktop, so now
if we didn't get that permit or whatever, we couldn't apply for grants, because that was the first step
If we,
in the,
if we didn't have a master plan,
yeah, we
then
can't.
we couldn't go to apply for other construction
Yeah,
grants.
because that's, you
Or
said
there might
that
even be
was,
funding for maintenance, I don't
Yeah.
know. But the first step would be the master plan. The state requires that kind of
Yeah.
process.
Right.
You've
Yeah.
got to have a master plan that says, but that master plan would identify the maintenance costs. So with the master plan, the town, you folks could look at it and say, this is affordable, or, you know, we can do this, or no, we can't. So that would be part of the result of having a master plan.
But we do
So-
need more guidance in order to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Well,
is-
in the past years,
Yeah,
every meeting, not only did they attend the meeting, but they used to give the agenda for the meeting. And like for the last year or so, you know, I've had to create the agenda, not being up to date on what's happening
Yeah.
at the state
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
If we're paying, maybe we're not paying, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure.
but does
But
someone,
isn't that, that's one of the appointed, that we pay every year, right? That one, isn't that one of the, I'd have to look in the book for sure.
I would think so too. It's got to be a line item in
Yeah.
the budget that we
Yeah.
pay them. I don't know.
where is Emily's office? Is she the one down here in John's building, or,
No, she's in St. Albans,
okay?
in the Northwest Regional Planning
There's
Commission.
the lady
head
that
office.
came here said she was gonna have a office in John's building down here on the corner.
Oh, you're thinking of Lindsay Wright, with the Missisquoi River Basin
No,
Association.
no, this was for the forest, because I was, one member of the select board had to be designated as whatever, and I was the one, and she had me do whatever bit of paperwork, and said, I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah.
And I thought,
I
I
remember
think
you
we figured that everything was okey-dokey there.
Yeah,
We haven't heard nothing.
I remember you were involved in that. I can't
Yeah.
remember who that person was.
Emily would know, because I've asked her before what her
Yeah.
name was, because she said she was gonna have an office here in Berkshire.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the MRBA and the Upper Missisquoi Wild and Scenic Committee,
Are there, yeah.
the town has received a couple of grants for culvert upgrades,
Yeah.
stone line ditches, a couple of water quality improvements through that organization.
Yeah,
$5,000 grants.
Yeah.
So she would have been up here for those water quality
yeah. yeah.
grants.
Well, I know she said she was gonna be down here, but that's the last I saw of her.
Yeah.
I didn't remember what her name was.
I think we talked about culverts in a few meetings back, right? And the way I understood it was something that John headed up,
Yep.
was he actually had got the culvert replaced for us. But it wasn't through us, but it was through that,
right here.
through that program
I'm not sure.
with the Missisquoi.
Well, I know he was
Wild-
telling us
Wild
all
and Scenic.
the grant money was out
Yeah.
there. Whether we,
$1,800.
did we use,
$1,800
I
a year.
think if we used any of it.
So,
I think we have.
We had,
And then,
So it's in the budget.
we didn't use
yeah,
it.
they'd be
This is
okay.
something that
I'd
he
be
did
surprised if
for
we're not
us.
paying them. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're being
Yeah,
paid.
they're, yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
on
then,
there.
so then there's an issue, maybe they're overwhelmed, they don't have enough staff, who knows? But there's an issue, and it's kind of holding us back.
well,
You
when
can have
the
a seat,
pandemic-
Ferdinand, if you want. We'll do it
Come in,
again.
come in, come in, come in.
When the pandemic happened, they all started working from home, and that's kind of when
Yeah.
they started to go downhill, and I don't think they work at their office. Like, I used to visit their office before, when I
Yeah.
had a problem, I was going to St. Albans, I used to drop in and talk to them. You can't do, there's
Right.
nobody there now.
And they moved around a little bit too.
Yeah.
They were on Lake Street.
Bill, yes, they did.
Now I think, are they on,
No, they're on that road
Fairfield.
that's perpendicular to Main
Fairfield?
Street now, near the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that-
yeah, yeah.
I've been to their
What do they
office.
call that? Is that Fairfield
I think it's
Street?
with the
Maybe,
hospital.
not sure.
It's the same street as the hospital.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Correct,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
So I think that most of them are working
Yeah.
from home now,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
You know, and
So-
their voicemail, it's always full. You
Yeah.
can't leave a voicemail now.
Right.
Send them
so what do you,
a letter.
what do you all think in terms of, what do we do here? Does somebody reach out to Northwest Regional
Yeah,
Planning Commission and say that,
We'll get,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
somebody, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
call and find out what's going on.
No, we get along really well, we don't wanna, we don't wanna, cause
Just
any
need some
problems, but
answers.
we need them.
Yeah,
And
we do.
we're paying them, and we're not getting the service, is what it really comes down
And I
to.
think we would like them to attend our meetings like they used to, you know, and give us
All
more
of those
guidance.
things,
Yeah,
all of the above,
very
that's
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe the working from home,
Mhm.
maybe it will be more virtual than it will be in actual presence
It doesn't matter.
No.
They're not in touch
Agreed.
with us at all.
at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no communication.
Yeah.
Have you heard of any other town having the same problem, or no?
I have not,
Yeah,
but I'm not in touch with other towns
Yeah,
that are
they're-
working with them.
yeah.
I don't know. It's a good
Usually
question. Yeah.
Emily can call and check and see.
Yeah, I think it's a friendly call to say, our planning commission is asking about working better with you folks, because they're not hearing what they need. They're not getting the input that they need
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
our relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure we have a contract with them too.
Yeah.
It might even take an in-person visit if nobody's answering the phone on the other end.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's,
Right.
we could do that too. But I just think a friendly call to say, we're just wondering why we're not getting the
Right.
service that we used to get and we expect.
But if we do call, and I'm just trying to take in the information that I'm hearing, if we call again and we don't hear anything, it may take a personal visit.
Well, not only that, but I would look at whatever contract we have with them.
Yeah, yeah,
Say-
but we need
No,
them,
They're
Yeah,
being paid,
yeah,
so.
exactly.
but we need them.
Right.
Yeah.
We
So,
definitely need them, and I'm sure we have a contract
yeah,
of some form with them.
we'll have to look at that and see for what we have on file as a contract.
That would be great.
Yeah.
It would help us a lot.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Anything else?
So, but just back to the municipal planning grant then, I think the next step there is again, we need to hear from and work with the municipal planning, not the, Northwest Planning Commission. We can't, they would submit the grant application for us. That's part of what they do for us. Like, I'm sure under contract is they write grant applications for us. They're better at it than we are, and that's their job. So I think that once we reestablish contact with the Northwest Regional Planning Commission, we can talk with them more about reapplying for the municipal planning grant. But I do think before we do that, we want to have more discussions with the select board to make sure you would support. And again, we don't need to do that tonight.
Right,
We would,
right,
we
right.
would want to make
Get
sure.
closer to,
Yeah.
get closer to what.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if we don't have the select board support, both in terms of support and 20% funding, then there's no sense in us making the application
Yeah,
for the grant.
Yeah.
For the planning grant.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't get approved.
and that's something too, we need public input. That's it's a talent for us, right?
I'm not sure if you do or not, but that's
I
up to
would-
you
I
guys.
would-
Part
I
of, part
would
of,
say
part
so.
of my recollection from, part of the process for creating the master plan would be meetings with opportunity for public input.
Would we want?
Would be, there would, part of the process of writing the master plan would be a series of meetings to
Oh,
be seeking public input
oh,
into the plan.
absolutely.
That's part of how
Yeah.
that's done.
whatever
Yeah.
company is hired to actually do
Yeah.
the master plan would want to have at least a couple public hearings to receive input from the public. What do you guys want? It's your land. What do you want to do?
Right, right. Because if X amount of dollars is gonna have to be provided, do you approve that funding? From the taxpayers.
Yeah. yeah, that would be,
Yeah,
that would be part of it, yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think we have information now to,
Yeah, well, somebody will get on trying to find out why they're not cooperating.
Yeah, it still comes down to that, Todd, I agree, yeah.
I mean,
That's-
that's gonna have to be the.
that's the
first-
next
If
step.
they're not gonna talk to you, you're not gonna be able to do anything.
That's the
anyway,
next
so.
Right.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
our Emily, you know, I think we have one of the best town clerks. She is just incredible.
is.
I work with so many town clerks, and I think that it would really help her too if she had
yeah,
more
yeah, as well, and,
interaction.
right,
She
along
keeps
with
us
our
in line.
assistant town clerk.
Yeah.
Keeps us in line.
Yeah. Okay, well, we thank you.
Yes,
Thank you very much for coming.
I had a question, it just occurred to me as I was walking from home to here. Who owns the church across the road?
So I've been told that the congregation, the church owns it.
Uh-huh, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
such
I
a
don't-
nice building,
I
but boy,
don't
it's
know.
falling apart. I know that the Stowe folks,
Yeah,
They
they were.
Bonnie
Yeah,
used to
they do
have a lot to
something-
do
they
with it,
mow it.
right?
Yeah,
Whereas
But
Bonnie
it's-
so did, I don't
It's like
know.
all the windows.
I don't know.
oh, it's
Her
her
gorgeous.
father,
yeah.
Lean.
Lean,
Larry
used
does the
to,
lawn,
used to
right?
be a head.
Yeah, Larry mows the lawn, right?
Yeah.
So, he might know.
Who might?
Larry,
Yeah, yeah,
cause he mows the lawn.
I figured he probably would know, yeah,
That's
we'll
right.
ask, we'll ask
I
him.
specifically asked Emily that question, because that question's been brought to me
Oh, really?
several times, and that's
Really?
what Emily told me,
Is,
that the congregation
congregation-
owns
yeah.
it, the church itself
But I don't
owns
think
it.
there's hardly any members left. Like I
So,
say, the
and
Stones and a
I've-
couple of others, I'm not really
Mhm.
sure.
I've personally researched it, and I
oh, really?
couldn't come up with any specific person owning it.
So you didn't really find out who the congregation is?
No,
Right.
Who are they? Yeah.
well,
We
that's
talk
what
to
I
them?
say.
We must have
There's gotta be a tax.
tax exempt if they're a church
Yeah.
or not on file, so we could start there.
And I'm not asking that you do it, I'm happy to come here and do whatever I can. I'm just interested because it's such a nice structure, and I'm sure to fix it up would be a very big expense, but I'm just curious as to
Yeah.
who owns it, what are they doing about it, whatever.
I don't,
That'd be a start to take a look there. There's gotta be a name or somebody, a sign.
like I say, I bet Larry would probably know.
I will ask
Maybe.
Larry, I see Larry, every time his truck is there, I know. he's there.
I mean, he might know. I mean, I'm not sure
No,
that he
I
does.
see him quite often.
But I know that he mows the lawn, and I know Bonnie did a lot, some things over there, but
Yeah,
I
right,
don't know.
right.
Yeah, I think Joey said something about, they had to do some roof work.
Yeah, and somebody did some work on the siding in the front of it a few years ago.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's in pretty bad shape, I think.
yeah.
I think most of the congregation is older and
I
gone.
don't think,
Right,
yeah.
who are they? Yeah, right,
Like I say,
exactly.
the stoves and
Right.
I don't know. what-
Someone is still overseeing it.
Yes, they gotta be,
So-
but I don't know who
Yeah,
that
there must be.
is.
Yeah.
Are there any sort of regular services?
Not that I know of.
There's not a
I
monthly,
don't-
there's no
I'll bet
monthly
anything
service.
it's not.
Nothing.
It's probably not approved to use.
Yeah,
I can't,
yeah,
I don't know that for sure, but it's in pretty bad shape.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All little people that, I know like the church on, what's it, Austin Post?
Yeah.
The Four Corners.
Yeah.
That got down to like 3 people, that's all
Yeah.
there was left.
Yeah. And I think we're down to one.
Yeah, 'cause I think one of them was like, Leonard Nichols, I think is one of them, or his wife.
Yeah, it is a Nichols.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Leonard, I believe it's Leonard or his wife.
Probably be Paul, well, Paul and Joe.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe Leonard has something, but I'm not sure,
Yeah.
and I think,
I don't know.
right or
Is this cotton usually?
I know they're not, there's.
It's a
there's
tough
only-
time
there's
for
only
all
a-
these.
There's only, there's only.
All
like
these
2 or 3
type
people
churches.
left there
Yeah,
in
tough
that
time.
church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they took that church down, the one in the east, Innisburg? Isn't that the one?
On the
Boston
Four
Post?
Corners on Boston, but could have, I
Yeah,
don't
think
know.
it's
They
down.
were
I
going
say,
to
yeah,
take it
they-
down.
There was some
it's gone.
discussion about it.
Is it gone?
Is it gone? I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was some discussion about it, because the steeple or something that fell back years ago, come down, and there was some discussion, but I don't know, I haven't really.
Well, she said it's down.
Yeah.
It's gone.
And that's too bad.
Yeah,
But it's a tough time for
They don't get,
yeah.
these
you know,
type of buildings.
Yeah, and if there really is no congregation,
yeah.
people, then there's no funding.
Oh, it might have been Pearlie.
It could have been.
Maybe,
It might have been
Steve,
Pearlie,
those guys,
Steve,
yeah.
his wife,
Yeah.
his wife, I think, and then Nichols, and there was like just 2 or 3 people, that's all it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, just, I've been meaning to ask a little bit more, but I'll check with Larry. I see him often.
They gotta do your best bet.
Sound like it'd be a good start.
Great.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Certainly welcome. Certainly welcome again.
We had
And
you
if Emily finds out, she'll let you know.
Casey, yeah.
Jason, nice to meet you, Jason.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Thank you very much for coming.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening.
The reason I wanted to come was, I had brought a paper in, it was about,
Have a seat.
Yeah,
Sit down.
it was about
Sit down. Sit down.
the gas line that they're putting in, right?
Yeah.
And the Alicia from Vermont Gas, she messaged me that the people that are doing the boring, I wanted them to put in a sleeve that comes from our grass field, goes underneath the King Road, and comes out on the other side of our grass field. That way, in a couple of years, if we do a drag line, something, we would have an ability to just pull a pipe, not disturb the road or anything, because the only other place, we'd either have to go around by the river or go through the culvert that's up the road by Arnold's Corner. So that's why we wanted to just make sure that it would be okay to pull a sleeve through that. And Elisa said that was our responsibility to make sure that that would be okay. So.
I read the letter when I got here, and I mean, we probably need a motion on that or something, right?
We can make them.
And I make a motion.
Is there a little schematic of where that would be? Just for record?
I can, if you want, I can draw something out.
Could
I
you?
mean, because I mean, I know they're gonna have to, I figured it'd be the easiest for them to do it. Because
Understood.
they're gonna be there doing their stuff. So
Yeah.
they're not gonna mess it up.
Right.
Obviously.
It'd be done like the
And
same
it,
time.
and it would be probably the cheapest,
Yeah.
because obviously
Yeah.
you're probably gonna use our parking and stuff, and we wanted to try to work out a
Sure,
deal for that.
sure. But I think it's prudent on our part for everyone
Yeah, to have,
to have a sketch, so we have a record.
but I can draw it out on a
Where
piece
it
of
is,
paper
yeah.
if you want, or,
Yeah,
that's not a
that
problem.
would suffice,
Yeah.
right?
Whereabouts was it?
So, you come across, starting on the King Road,
If you're coming up 105,
coming off 105, if you're looking to our fields, it would be kind of around on the corner of our grass field. I guess we know where that little ditch is that goes.
I know the
I'll
road.
we got a piece of paper. I'll just draw it out.
We can just print a picture out of Google Maps,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or pull it up on Google Maps.
Well, we still should have a
Right,
sketch
yeah,
on
you know what I
file.
mean?
Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
gonna
we're
be,
gonna have to give them, or who's ever
yeah,
this is gonna be undertaken, who's gonna oversee this.
because
They should have that
as you go up the
sketch
King Road, you have those 2 trailers there,
Right,
right?
on the right, yes.
I don't want to do it in that grass field because there's a leach field in that field. So before that, there's a little ditch that goes across, and then so right before that ditch in that grass field, they would come in from that grass field and then go underneath the ditch, underneath the road, and come out in our grass field on the other side.
Yeah.
Just above where that transformer, or
Yes.
your driveway to get in there.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Somewhere
But
around
I
there.
can sketch something out on the actual
Yeah,
map. And
yeah, that
I
would
can
be
have my
great.
mom just
Okay.
drop it off. That's not a
That
big
would be
deal.
great.
Yep.
Yeah.
No problem.
I mean, if you're not in a hurry, you need help, there's gonna be a while before they do it. right?
Yeah, they're not gonna do it today or
So-
tomorrow, but as long
Yeah.
as,
Yeah,
by the
we
time.
get it back.
If you could get a sketch back to us, the next meeting we could approve. the
Yeah,
thing,
that's
probably.
right.
Yeah, because
Yep.
they're not gonna start
Yeah.
that soon, I'm sure
Right.
it'll be.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yep.
even if it is, I mean, I don't see a problem with it, if anything, it
No.
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to, to that point in time, somebody's gonna have
Mark's
to,
putting them all over the place.
well, somebody's gonna have to, as a record, where it is.
Yeah, but it keeps traffic down, and I mean,
Yeah.
it'll,
Yeah.
We had Josh do some up the King Road this year, and he was able to do almost all of it there
Yeah.
on the grass.
Makes a big difference.
Well, they go a long way, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I wanted to put on a small addition to the second trailer as well. I don't know. You probably have to.
You have
There's
to go to
a
the.
permit application for
I
that.
think my mom filled
His
it
mom
out.
already dropped it off.
There we go,
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you could get the sketch here, we're meeting in 2 weeks, so we could have it all.
Yep.
I'm all for doing it.
Yeah,
Get a sketch.
yeah, and we can take a look at your permit too at the same time.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Alright.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you,
Jason.
thank you.
Alright.
So we'll just put that off, we'll hold off on it
Till we get the sketch.
till we get the sketch.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we'll
Correct.
just postpone it.
Yeah, and then he's got his, I guess he's got a building permit in too that we haven't seen yet.
We won't see that.
No, no,
No,
We won't see that. We don't see the
it's
building
going
permit.
to Ann,
It
and
all
I
goes to
already
the.
told Gertrude that Ann would call her when it was.
oh, okay, okay.
Highway updates, well,
We don't have a
Yeah.
highway.
we don't have Tony here, but,
And building.
so there's been, Danny was here last Monday. It was last Monday, and me and Mark were here, and they had issues with the chloride trailer. It's over there on the side of the building if anybody wants to stop and take a look, but she's bad. The
Yeah,
axles, the springs are broke on one side, the hangers, if you look at it, it's got rear steer going on. Bill found a trailer in Essex for $5,000. And, Mark wanted Jamie to come up and look at the trailer to assess it, and,
Jamie,
Valancourt
yeah,
come up and look at it, but there's holes in the frame and it,
you mean this, ours?
the one ours,
Yeah,
and, I don't think there's any saving.
yeah, probably cost more to fix it than buying another one.
Yeah.
And that is very possible, but we won't know until they look at it.
Yeah,
Or they would just drive it over there.
Well, Jamie's gone on vacation.
Yes, he is, he's gone for a week or so.
So, and, yeah, so, I know Bill looked at it and Bill didn't, I mean, anything's fixable, Bill said, but it's how much money you wanna put into it, is the thing.
Right,
Well,
and the other thing that we had to consider, that we did consider,
Yep,
was it's a chloride trailer.
right,
It's gonna be exposed to chloride.
yeah,
right,
It's not meant to look pretty
no,
when we even begin to use it.
yeah,
So that was the consideration that Jason and I approached, as was, at least if we got a basis of, if it was repaired, and we used, you know, their abilities of saving Jackie Tremolin's log truck that was totaled, and they made it into a record. They had the ability, but we would be able to see that cost. If it's $5,000 to fix it, then the other avenue, it's $5,000 for a different one,
yeah.
right? But then we would know what that basis is. So I guess we need to wait until Jamie gets here or gets back and we can have him take a peek at it. He's only gonna be gone for a week.
yeah. The only thing is, if anybody calls for chloride, there's no chloride
Yep.
happening.
Just gotta, just kinda let them know that we're,
Breakdown,
we're in care of a breakdown and we're addressing it.
could I have that one, please?
Oh, yeah, actually, I give them both to you.
Thank you.
And what was the other thing? I don't know if everybody knows or not, but Danny is out with some medical issues.
Oh.
And will be out for don't hold me to this, but it's looking like 3 months. So, with that being said,
For Tony.
I don't know what we should do about trying to get Bill and Sean some help. Because with the projects that we got going on, and Cecil, I don't think has been feeling good. So, right now, we were started with 4, now we're down to 2.
Yeah.
And it's kind of coming into busy season, crunch season with the projects that we got going, and if they get the garage going and a bunch of different stuff. I talked to Bill this afternoon and he brought up Mark Gilman's name. Maybe helping out a couple days a week if we need help or whatever.
We can do whatever we can do,
I mean, cause it's, I
when we
mean,
can fit in our budget.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't personally talked to Danny,
Yeah.
but I know that Bill's been in contact with him.
Okay.
I can, we can discuss it at the end of the meeting.
I knew we were up against this
Yeah,
as a beginning stage
yeah.
anyways,
Yeah,
although it's coming a little bit earlier on us.
Yes.
For other reasons.
yes,
It happens.
yes.
It happens. No, I agree. We need to look at other avenues to
see.
see how we can have help
I
provided.
know that, we talked about Hunter LaFar.
Okay, yep.
I don't know what Emily found out, if you wanna,
So she reached out to the LCT, and 16, 17-year-old can help with like mowing, weed whacking, running a shovel. If anyone has any additional ideas
but
of
it,
small odd jobs that he can do. He cannot do
painting
flagging,
clouds, he cannot do flagging.
Cannot do flagging.
but me and Emily are gonna be taking our flagging course
Right.
pretty soon.
Mhm.
This week.
Is it next week?
I think it is,
Okay,
the week
Good,
after, so
good,
it's coming
good.
up soon.
okay.
And Lori also has her CDL from driving bus.
No, from
Before that?
like 22 years ago.
Oh, yeah? Perfect. So, plenty of experience.
Yeah.
I was speaking
I
to kids,
did
it should
tell
be,
Emily that I would help out in the bench.
Yeah. But,
Good, that's great. That's great.
I know that Emily did say that he couldn't run any equipment because of
Right.
the age or whatever.
yeah.
I know she did mention that, but, I mean, it's an option of helping one of them weed whack or paint plows or, you
Well,
know.
we've got some
One of
boards,
them.
we got some boards right out front, even though we're looking at this to have it reworked. We need a few screws in these boards coming up the steps. So there's odd job that we can have him do. Yeah,
For
definitely,
an option.
definitely,
I mean,
yeah. Little things,
there's,
little things go a long ways. Yeah,
I'm trying to think, I don't think there were, I know, no,
Will Billy talk to Mark, or,
he can, or somebody, we can reach out, because I think that he has to do we can reach out to him, to
Might
see
as
what his take is on, you know, maybe, I don't know what he's committed to, but.
oh, wasn't he just talking to him recently?
Yeah, yeah, I know that he was,
Yeah,
but, yeah, I can reach out to him, or to see what his schedule is, or whatever, you know, a couple days a week,
I know
or.
Danny was
you know.
saying he doesn't mind to drive truck,
Right, I know that, yeah, he's not gonna do,
jump down the ditch and shovel.
right, even if it's
Yeah. 'Cause there's gonna be
mowing
a
the
lot
sides of the road, or
Yeah,
Gilman,
there'll be a lot of truck driving.
yep. he knows that he's been here, and,
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of them things that, if, you know, for some, I don't wanna overstep, but, you know, if, we need somebody to plow snow this fall or whatever,
Yeah.
it's an iron that we can put.
If you'd help fill in,
Right, right,
it might come at the right
Right.
time.
right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else for the highway?
I do have one thing. I talked to Bill yesterday after we just ran into a store. And he's not doing the UniFirst thing. So I know he mentioned something about a stipend, because he's gotta he takes his clothes, he washes them at the thing, he has to buy his own stuff. And it was mentioned, I don't know which town it was, he says, well, one other town had a problem with UniFirst, or whoever they was buying it. So they gave them $125 a quarter, just for them to get for that. And I just didn't know if that was something that maybe we could do for him if he wasn't going to use the UniFirst.
I'd like to learn a little bit more about what is the concern with UniFirst.
He wasn't getting his stuff and we were paying for it.
Okay,
And Emily was 3 months trying to get it straight.
This has been going on since fall. It's
And
been months.
He wasn't getting his stuff.
because we also have them for our employees,
Yeah.
UniFirst. They've always been pretty responsive. Now, there's been a lot of changing of hands there too, and that's understandable. But maybe we need to reach back out to the
But I think,
customer care.
And
I
you
think-
guys reached out.
I think at this point, Bill, I don't need I don't need anything. I can take care of it myself. But I was just saying maybe because I think he's had it with him. You know what I mean? It sounded to me like, you know, he waited, and then they come the other day and he's, well, I got 2 of your pair of pants. Well, that's like, do you want them? No, I'm done. I mean, he was pretty disgusted with them. Yeah. But there hasn't been no problem with the other guys. It's just his. Yeah, I don't know. He says I don't know. He says I don't have.
I'd like to, yeah.
If you wanna.
Let me, I'll give it an effort to contact UniFirst.
So we have ongoing email chain
Perfect.
for like months.
Would you mind sending those to me? Or you can put it in as one attachment too. Yeah.
And I know that Danny has had issues with his uniforms.
Okay,
as well.
and you can go ahead and give me those bullets.
Yep.
Who's had,
So as of right now, Bill doesn't have any charges coming off from him.
Yeah, they just stopped it. It's like, we're not paying him anymore because we were paying him, he wasn't getting what he was supposed to get paid for.
But this warrants a little higher level, contact and discussion.
Okay, anybody else, any highway updates or issues
Oh,
or?
Tony was gonna go up and look at the Robitelli request. Anybody? The extension?
Yeah, I hadn't heard.
From a class 3 to extend that responsibility.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have not heard.
I haven't heard
If
any, I
anything's
haven't
gone
seen
on.
Tony.
Is he, where is he? Is he, just didn't come tonight?
I hadn't heard.
Oh, me
that,
either.
So
Me either, okay.
I don't know.
That was the only thing that we'd have to follow back up on. He was going up.
We can,
I just don't-
we can write it down and bring it up next
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, nothing,
I'll just leave it in here.
yeah.
In the back of that is nothing.
Okay.
It's just scrap.
Can you make a note, Lori, to bring up the class 3 to class 4, right?
Extension.
Extension for the
Yeah.
Robitelli Road.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause that was in there last minute.
Yeah, it
Culverts and
was.
stuff. Tony was gonna look it up, or go up and see what it consisted of, or Danny, but I haven't,
yeah.
nobody's heard.
just an open discussion. We didn't think we were taking on any more road,
Right, he was just.
but he was still gonna go up, take a look at it.
I haven't heard from him about any of it, so I haven't talked to him or anything.
Okay, you got anything?
So, she wrote,
Go ahead and read what she wrote in this.
so this is just informational only, no action is needed. Rat Dufresne's had a neighbor dispute on Berkshire Estate. Hathaway plugged a culvert, causing the water to run on the road, washing it out. He explained, Berkshire Estates is a private road and the town cannot do anything about it. He is demanding the town to make Hathaway unplug the culvert. So, but
I would think
it's-
that would be the guy that's sold them. That's a state
Well,
thing, right?
it's a private road, it's nothing.
It's a private road
Yeah.
owned by the people that own the road, or
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
guy that, or does
Well, usually the houses on the road own the road. Or
the guy that built it doesn't still own it?
No,
no, it's all the homeowners on it.
That's between them.
yes.
I'm not getting into that.
Yeah.
Moving on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So, there's a new open meeting law that requires audio or video recording of the meeting and for the recording to be posted to the website. So that's what, for like planning commission, DRB meetings.
Yep.
So, I believe that's taking effect July 1st.
That's what I read, that's what I read.
Yeah. We have to look into it a little bit more to find out what meetings specifically have to be recorded. But we're working on that.
Yeah, good.
And I have directions on how to do it that I'm keeping in the bag with a laptop, so. It's pretty simple.
Underway already, though.
Yeah.
Good, good.
The speed sign arrived. The town guys picked it up this morning, so.
Good.
They'll be
Oh.
sticking it out somewhere.
Did, Miss Hango was supposed to stop, was there anything about that? No one mentioned speed sign. She was concerned about the four corners over by the Phoenix house, I do believe so, but I
Emily did
didn't.
respond to her email,
There's not much they're gonna be able to do with that.
No.
over there.
because it's
No,
a state
no.
road.
I mean, if they put the sign up, if they put it over there, that's one thing, but that hill's dangerous, I don't care. They come over there, it's like, if you're in the road, you're in the road, because you
Yeah,
can't. It's not a good corner, by any means, but
Yeah.
there's nothing to be done about it. Because sometimes they do come flying over that thing from Canada.
But you know, you don't really hear about anybody getting in.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to jinx it,
No,
but you
no,
know what
no.
I mean, you don't really
No,
No.
hear
I
about.
haven't heard of any accidents there.
Yeah, I mean, I know that people do cruise right through there.
Yeah.
but I think, is it coming up the hill is 40?
Yeah.
And then it hits 35
If this ground could be,
at the,
but nobody goes 40, so.
Yeah.
no, but just for saying, there are appropriate signs, but I went back through and there
I'm
is
not sure.
but there is an appropriate sign there, and it's a
Yeah.
matter of is it being abided by?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can, maybe that's the first place, that speed sign.
That speed sign and,
Not to open a can of worms, but the best thing for that would be to have a flashing light at the top of that hill coming from Franklin.
Yeah.
That somebody's.
but is it,
But if
Just
we
a
put-
light that flashed, it brought
Even
somebody's
if we
attention.
put that,
But
put
this is-
that speed sign there.
this is part of
right there on
it,
the
right?
map,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can- I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably cheaper doing the speed sign than putting the flash.
No, no, but
Right.
it's,
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
it's.
Well, they did that one day
I mean,
on
you probably-
Woods
you
Hill.
probably get-
Been there forever.
Get
Is it
another
still
one,
working?
you got a
Still
permanent one
working?
that you could stick there.
Yeah, but it's not always on.
Okay, that's why I was.
Specific times, I think.
Just for
Yeah.
that permanent, they're not like
Must
they're,
be having the
no,
traffic.
they're not, if you
there.
bought one every couple of years, you could end up putting one there on a pole permanent, like, I mean, Montgomery's got some permanent.
Well, all of the municipalities are doing it. It's they're all doing it because of, it's a lack of,
Yeah.
service, if I may say, lack of service. And there's another way to remind you, oh, you are going this fast.
Yeah, 'cause a lot
It's
of
a
people,
reminder,
yeah,
you
they'll
know.
see, whoops, man.
I use them,
So
yeah.
permanent, like I know the one that the town just ordered has a solar panel on it, so it like maintains itself.
Right.
But they can put it on, they can.
I think they just gotta drive a post in the ground to, and then I do believe it, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I do believe it's portable.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was supposed to be.
You can put,
move it in
you can put
different
like
spots.
poles in different places. and
You
then
put the base down
Yeah.
and then you
Move
just
it
change
back
it.
then.
See down here, I know Ken's got one down here and it's painted red at the top,
Yeah,
so I don't, you know,
Oh, yeah.
So you set a couple
Yeah.
of poles, then you can move the thing. from
Yeah.
place to
Yeah.
place.
yeah,
maybe we should
yeah.
Yeah, we
try
should
to
do
put
that.
one over, put it over there and see.
Yeah.
I think it's a good place to start with it, since we've got some extra
That is-
help
that
with
is-
eyes.
That is, the- I mean, that is the dangerous.
See
way.
a
They come over
potential.
the hill, They come over
Yeah.
the hill and they're just,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
some don't, I mean, some probably don't know it, because they're, coming from Canada, maybe they don't know that, or other out-of-staters come over, they don't know that. You crown the hill and there's an intersection,
yeah.
you know, locals do, but they,
Yeah.
some of them don't care, so.
Right.
Is there a four-way intersection sign coming from Franklin? I know there's a speed, I know there's a speed zone sign,
I don't
but I
know,
don't know is we have a sign there showing that it's a four-way intersection.
I don't know,
But would, cause it's state
yeah, cause it's a state.
highway, I wonder if
They
it,
have to.
you know what I mean? Maybe we could,
We could give, maybe
should
we
we
need
reach
to.
out to them to see,
Yeah,
you know? And,
yeah.
cause, well, I don't even know if we can put that,
Well,
we
you know
might
what?
not even be able to put that speed sign, I don't know.
As we discuss it, we're gonna have to talk with the state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah,
Because that 118 used to go to the border.
yeah.
That's no longer true.
Well,
118 stopped at the four corners. 108 is what continues to the border now.
oh,
they must have just changed.
And that's plowed by the state.
right,
That's
right.
plowed by the state all the way
Yeah.
through, right, all the way to the border.
Yeah, 'cause they just paved it last year.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Yes.
so maybe we should reach out to somebody from the state to,
I think that you would,
or,
the supervisor at the Enosburg or the St. Albans one.
I can
Well,
see,
I-
I can stop and see mine.
That must be
Yeah.
okay, because
Top C
Montgomery,
mine.
Montgomery has them on 242, which is state, Montgomery has them all the way to Mike's, which is state, Mercy's.
Well, it might be just a
Just
courtesy.
Yeah.
Courtesy.
I can ask
They
mine.
do have them.
They do,
got
they
them
do,
all
and you
over.
are right, that is a state road all the way through.
242, they got one on
Yeah,
the
they got
hill.
one
Yeah.
coming by Bassins, they got one coming from.
Yes,
Down
yes,
the way.
yeah,
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and I was talking with Mark not too long ago, and at one time here, not too long ago, the state wanted them to take over Main Street, and they said no.
No, don't blame them.
Yeah, yeah.
I would like him, I don't blame them.
yeah. Yeah, it's a hard.
But I can understand why,
What,
because I was.
you know, one more item from
Everybody, yeah.
Forest Lorry. 118, we've got a little, somehow, some way, we've got a little trash next to the road.
118 heading towards. North
Headed toward East Berkshire.
Okay.
from here to
Berkshire
there.
Center Road.
We've
That's
got a little that we need to pick up, I guess.
trash on the side of the road.
Yeah, it's
Or a house that.
It looks like that our mower might have hit it when they mowed the
I
roadside.
guess I didn't notice it.
Yeah, we got a couple items of debris there if the guys could just take a quick pass.
Okay, what section of it? Halfway down,
Uh,
closer to Monticello Road?
Near,
I didn't see it.
between the brick, let me see here, King Road and before you hit the flat, or on the flat,
Okay.
down by David
Oh,
Kennedy.
Dave Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, yep,
I didn't see it.
yep.
Huh? I didn't notice that.
Well, once I called Emily, and there was a couple totes that were down there. I said, well, then they'll come back for them.
Yeah,
Nobody ever came back for them.
Yeah.
After a week, I said,
So
well, I guess we
it's all
gotta pick
fell off.
those up. And
I fell off the truck and.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like the thing with the, I think it would be great if we had a dumpster that we could put, stuff
Stuff
in here,
they
but
find
like I
out
said, they're
about.
gonna put garbage in it, there's
Yeah.
nobody there, it's not
It's,
gonna
and there's nobody,
work.
yeah.
No way, nobody.
I did learn there is a metal dumpster behind the fire station in Richford
Yeah,
that Weatherby's provide.
there's
But there's-
usually so much trash there.
Yeah, but you know what? I was up there Sunday morning after mass,
Yeah,
and you know what? He's got his sign out there, and it's all metal. Yeah,
what do you mean, so,
they haven't put any TVs there.
oh, yeah,
It's all metal.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cause electronics can't go in there, right?
No.
No.
TVs.
And they got a little
computers.
sign right there too. No TVs or couches or furniture. It's strictly metal.
yeah,
Of course, there's somebody there to, I mean, in the presence of the fire station.
yeah.
Right.
It's like a little bit of authority now
It's a little
overwatching.
different than here when there's no.
Right, there's nobody
Here,
here.
I mean, during the week they might be, but during the weekend there's not, so you'd have to lock it up and they'd still figure out a way to
Yeah.
get it in there. So it's-
Yeah.
Last thing is new garage updates. I don't know what that is, do you know? Quickie 80 foot
So,
versus 250
has-
feet.
Any heard anything about when the state's coming?
What do we got on her list that we wanna, so we don't jump ahead?
That's
That's
the last
That's
thing.
it.
on the
Business.
list is the garage.
So I met with the wetlands and cross consulting on Wednesday. She looked over the area over there. We walked down into the buffer zone with their boots on and walked all through there. There was presence of additional material being pushed over. So they're gonna look at, she asked me politely, professionally, you know, do you have anything here that you could show me where things are, where it was? I said, no, we don't. I could definitely ask some of the scholars of the town. My father-in-law I mentioned, Roy Hango, something of showing a visual aid of how it looked back
I don't
years
know.
ago.
I don't know.
So I told her I would do that. She looked through a few of the areas and like I said, she found that, okay, it does look like that. It has grown. But where was that line before that had taken place? They have a LiDAR on Google Maps, or they go back to kind of get a feel for where they're at is. She asked me, when would we like to build? I said, we were in the process, we'd like to get it started and completed this year. She commented back and she said, well, there definitely is an impact. I don't know what that impact will be, but there's definitely something that we can do to help you keep going. She didn't see a problem. I thought I was gonna hear something back today. They're meeting today. The wetland people are meeting today. So I'm assuming after today, I will hear something back on what is the necessity of what we have to do. And he was also, we were also there accompanied by Cross Consulting.
Yeah.
So
Ryan Wells.
I'm wondering if we found out, like if you find out tomorrow that we could go ahead, if we should call a meeting and let them know that they can go ahead.
We won't do anything until we have the official
No,
letter.
but that's what I mean, if they, so okay,
It'll be I expect a permit.
Yeah,
right,
That's what I expect.
yeah,
okay.
A permit, and with this permit, there'll be some conditions, there'll be a fee accordingly.
Yeah. No.
But she did not see any problem
yeah.
with what we were doing, how far we'd gone,
Okay.
holding everything and getting that. It was all a plus.
Cause they put that in there a long time, I don't know how long that's been there, cause they used to put the sand pile.
My father-in-law didn't remember, and he put the garage up.
Well, that's where they put the
But
sand pile.
he didn't remember though, Todd, where is that perimeter
Yeah,
of the hill or a slope?
Yeah,
I mean, they put the sand pile there for years.
Nobody knew.
yeah.
Nobody knew. So
I don't know.
it was a good turnout. It was a good turnout and it was all positive.
Yeah, that's good.
I think it's,
So we'll wait to hear from them, Lori, on that.
Did she give you any, you said you expect to hear from him, you think, within a day or so?
Monday.
Oh,
They're meeting today.
okay.
So
Nice.
wetlands, is that like
That-
Department of Environmental?
It is DEC. Yep. Yep. I think well, she's gonna email us anyway. I have her full name once I get it back from Ryan. The other entity as I was coming up here, I got a call from Vermont Electric. They have everything now pretty much of what we're gonna be hit with as far as a pro rata for us to go up one pole, sharing that cost, and the cost of what we need to do. He's gonna send that up to me tomorrow. He said he had all his information. He was telling me on the phone. I said, that's good, but I need hard documentation.
So, with the Corky, the drilling and stuff, of course, you wanted him to dig the line, dig from where he bores to the pole, and then dig to the building? That's where your 250 feet.
He's gonna bore from the pole on the other side of the road over to the building.
So you're not just.
The meter's gonna go on the building,
Right,
unless we want it on a pedestal.
right. No, but I was just thinking, I mean,
You want what? So what are you asking? Like,
so,
should I ask?
so usually what they do, like, he bores underneath the road. I mean, he can bore wherever, but I guess I didn't realize that you wanted him to go right from, sit next to a pole and bore right to.
Yeah, I mean, correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct. He may, based on where it is, because our well is there, he may bore across the road, dig another, and
Right.
then change direction. But he may say, once he looks at it, I don't have no problem.
Right,
But the well's out there,
yeah,
and the existing water line is out there. So it would be good for his presence
okay.
to come on site, take a look at it, and stake it. At least intentionally, where it's gonna end up. Now, we know it's gonna be toward the end of the back of the building, within that next to the last room. But
How many feet is it total from the pole to the building?
it was,
250
yeah, I taped it. It was 75 and 155.
Yeah.
But he doesn't bore the whole way, does he?
Yeah. Well, the option that we had on the table was, okay, we get the price for the boring.
Well, I thought that they bored under and then we dug a ditch.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, there is an option. We could have our people, now we're down one man,
Right,
we could cut the asphalt, we could do all of our own digging.
Yeah.
But
well, I was
I don't-
just thinking,
But that question came up. He said, Danny mentioned it. You tell me what you want. He said, and I'll do it.
right,
Yeah.
And that's when Tony, well, we don't know yet. Let's get the price to see, but I think based on what we know for manpower right now,
right.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to stay with a contractual idea
Yeah.
of
And
Just a
they'll bore,
Yeah.
they'll bore the whole thing, or they'll still dig part of it and put a bore under the road?
Well, the bore.
They
yeah.
can bore 3, 4, they can bore forever as long as you keep feeding them pipe.
Right. And that's what you're talking, have them just do it.
Yeah.
Bore it
And
out.
that was the
I thought-
recommendation.
What I thought,
You're like me, I thought bore under the road.
I thought
and
they
dig
would
to
just
the- dig
bore
to
under
the
it
ends.
and dig from the ends. to
Yeah,
the
that's
pole.
what
And
that's
what I was. That's
But I
what
guess who's gonna dig it?
yeah.
Right.
Well, our guys, but
Right.
we're down.
Right, so now, he may go across, dig a hole then, okay,
Yeah,
wherever,
right,
but that'll be his call.
right,
Right.
right.
Yep.
I-
Yep. And we could give him, based on the corners of where they are, we could stake and give him a point A to point B.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get with you and.
Sure.
And,
Sure, I got the plans in my truck full time, so.
yeah. Whatever,
Yep, we can do that.
yeah, just let me know, whatever.
Yeah, some evening,
Yeah,
I'll just buzz up through, just see if you're home and knock on the door.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Clerk updates.
Then we're in.
Over
That-
everything.
Perfect.
Anything
And
here left, was it, or, oh, yeah.
anything other?
No.
Um,
I don't think I covered it. I was gonna ask Danny if he was gonna do any more ditching, but I guess we're not gonna worry about that right now.
They're down on the Reservoir Road right now, putting in stone and stuff, and they're getting it out of,
Cause they got
marbles,
They got
or
some
both.
spaces that they ditched and did get the stone in.
Well, I think that's.
Down here.
Yeah,
There's only two of them.
yeah, so, and they're gonna need flaggers for that one.
Oh,
Fine.
I was gonna ask what the starting pay was for that. We discussed that, what was it? 18 and
I think it was 18 is what, Susan was getting.
That's for part-time or new guys, same thing?
Well,
I
if
don't-
anything new, we would have to come up with a starting salary.
And
We don't have a fixed rate, only for like our part-time help. What is it, 18? I think it's $18
Right,
an
old
hour.
man is making what?
I had to go through and look at.
yeah, right there in front of you.
Oh, yeah, it is right.
Lori, this Bouchard Home and Office Services kind of rings a bell back. Emily was gonna get in contact with someone, I'm guessing it might be, okay. We're gonna wanna get them here too as well with you folks, both you and Emily. And we're gonna wanna get a cost for their infrastructure for the new building.
Okay.
So we need to have that cost as well. We haven't got anything yet, but this reminded me here for you to, you really, to reach out to them and, try to, yeah, whether they're gonna go to a switch, I mean, we gotta terminate fiber, so there's gonna be some other entities too that they have to deal with. And Emily mentioned another company maybe too, but I know this just kinda rings the doorbell here, just as a reminder.
Well, we can close this meeting and then we'll go to executive meeting.
I make a motion that we close the meeting.
Okay. I'll second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Uh,